Hi, let's now continue with Module 2, Electricity Spot Markets, and by spot market I mainly think of day-ahead market. Before we go into the various blocks and activities of this module, I would like to give you an introduction. The aim of this introduction is to tell you about the learning objectives and the various blocks that we're going to be working on. When we talk about day-ahead electricity markets or spot markets, you have to remember this electricity market timeline that I introduced in the previous module. Remember that we have two sides, one side with the market operator and one side with the system operator. For now, we're going to stay on the side of the market operator. The day-ahead market is the first block that comes here before we'll move on to intraday market, etc. Why do we need a day-ahead market in the first place? Well, first, as human beings, we like to be prepared in advance, so we might as well do things day ahead. Now, more seriously, there's quite a lot of units in the system that needs to schedule in advance. So you may think of nuclear energy, for instance, with time constants that can be a bit long. You're not going to switch on and off a nuclear reactor from 1 minute to the next. There are some units also with ramping constraints. There are some units maybe with some operational schedule to respect. So you would like to know in advance what's going to be your schedule for energy or your commitment for the coming period. Even if you think of renewable energy, wind and solar, it might be nice actually to get a schedule in advance. Maybe because of maintenance purposes, if you would like to schedule some maintenance for a wind farm, maybe it's good to plan it in advance, and then you make offers in the market. You know your schedule in advance and you can plan your maintenance accordingly. This is the example of the timeline for day-ahead market, and here this timeline is coming from the Nord Pool. Nord Pool has a day-ahead market, and Nord Pool with this day-ahead market has inspired many others further than just Scandinavia. Let's consider the timeline. If we call it day-ahead, it obviously means that we consider a given day, let's call it day D, and we would like to make decisions at day D-1. In practice here for the Nord Pool, we have noon on day D-1, which is the gate closure. That means that all participants have to make their offers for production and consumption before that time, before noon. At 2 in the afternoon, the clearing results are published, so that means that you're aware of your consumption or production schedule for the next day based on this day-ahead market. The day in question is structured as follows. You have the start of the trading period at midnight, the end of the trading period at midnight, so it covers the whole day. There we have obviously different program time units to consider. It's not just one block of energy for the whole day. And for us in Scandinavia, the program time units are of 1 hour. Maybe in some other countries they are in 30 minutes, like the UK, or 15 minutes, which may be the standard for Europe in the future. So the resolution may vary. In this module, we're going to focus on a single program time unit to make things simpler. The learning objective for this module are for you to be able to describe an electricity pool and its auction mechanism. I would like you to be able to formulate market clearing as an optimization problem and solve it. Understand how to account for network effects and how there may be resulting differences between the zonal and nodal pricing concept. And finally, based on this schedule and prices that appear in the market, you should be able to calculate revenues and payments for the various market players in view of the different settlement methods. The module is structured in 5 video lectures, and next to these video lectures you will have self-assessment quizzes. There are 5 blocks, as I was saying. The first one is that we're going to understand the basics to go from bilateral contracts to the electricity pool. Then we will look at market clearing as an optimization problem. We'll move on to prices and settlement so that you learn how to calculate revenues. We will look at zonal and network aspects, so to understand how there might be some spatial differentiation in the schedules and prices. And finally, I would like to introduce you to regulation and support scheme, and mainly the impact they may have on the day-ahead electricity market. Good luck with module 2. Thank you.